my name's Lucy. I'm from Carbon Intelligence and I lead our TCFD services. I'm here today to talk to you about what is TCFD and why should fund managers understand the recommendations and the impacts. The Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, or TCFD, published its final set of recommendations in 2017. And since then, the uptake of these disclosures has significantly increased across the financial sector and other sectors. The task force was established by the Financial Stability Board after the global financial crisis, with an objective to promote international financial stability and better understand the impact of the global climate on business and the financial system. The purpose of the TCFD recommendations is to improve financial disclosure on climate-related risk and opportunities, so investors can make better informed decisions on where to deploy their capital as we transition to a low-carbon economy. The recommendations framework consists of 4 pillars: governance, strategy, risk management, and metrics and targets. Governance aims to highlight how climate risks and opportunities are monitored and lead from a governance level. Strategy describes the actual and potential impacts on strategy and financial planning, whilst the risk management pillar discloses the key processes used to identify, assess, and manage climate-related risks, including how they're integrated into the enterprise risk management framework. Lastly, metrics and targets outline both the metrics used to manage and monitor risks, as well as environmental and climate impacts, such as net zero or science-based targets. Alignment to TCFD is becoming mandatory in various regulatory and legislative changes. As of the start of 2021, all UK premium listed companies are required by the Financial Conduct Authority to report on a comply or explain basis against TCFD. Similarly, the UK government has announced its commitment to making TCFD reporting mandatory for all large UK registered companies from 2023. The government is currently consulting on the additional clauses to add to the Companies Act and should be announced by the end of 2021. Fund managers should be aware of TCFD and these regulatory changes to be ready for future requirements. The task force themselves suggests that to fully embed these recommendations is likely a 3 to 5 year timeframe. In the context of real estate, a changing climate poses a number of risks and opportunities. Given the physical nature of portfolios, changes in frequency and severity of extreme weather equates to significant risk of asset damage, as well as from the chronic impacts of long-term change, such as rising temperatures and rising sea levels. Real estate investors and organisations should also consider the transitional risks of climate change as global markets move to a low-carbon economy. Notable transition risks include changing insurance coverage, shifting tenant preferences and expectations, as well as changing regulation and carbon pricing. Alongside this, there are also climate-related opportunities such as low-carbon technology, reputational benefits, and an ability to diversify business investments. Given the likely significance of these risks and opportunities, fund managers should upskill on climate-related impacts and TCFD in order to better understand these risks within real estate funds, and in order to mitigate the long-term impacts and capture emerging opportunities.
Hi, my name's Andy Simon. I'm from BMO Real Estate Partners. We are part of BMO Global Asset Management, which is part of the Bank of Montreal Financial Group. I head up our sustainability department, and I'm also a member of the AREF ESG and Impact Committee. So building on Lucy's comments, we are indeed ourselves on a journey, and picking up on Lucy's final points, I'd like to explain how we as an investment manager apply the recommended disclosures as we consider climate-related risks and opportunities as part of our day-to-day operations. So taking those 4 recommended disclosure pillars in turn, for oversight and management, we provide our clients, be it board members, trustees or investors, with regular formal reports and updates. We provide an internal oversight through our ESG committee, whose role is to challenge, to direct, and to ensure that allocated resources are correct. We ensure that there is technical support, and we also commission external expertise as we need to. Integrating climate considerations into operational processes is ultimately our management objective. In terms of strategy, our initial focus has been on physical risk, but we are intending to expand to transitional risk and opportunities as a next phase. Our short-term focus has been on flood risk, and our medium-term focus will be on wider measures as necessary. What we do is classify assets according to materiality, largely around energy spend and efficiency ratings, and this allows us to prioritise our actions. From a risk management perspective, we have enhanced due diligence for acquisition now. We'd like to distinguish investment critical and ESG characteristics. We're looking particularly at climate-related risks. We undertake property appraisals and we carry out regular reappraisals on each individual asset. We routinely integrate actions and mitigations into our individual asset business plans, so it is truly and fully integrated into our regular investment management activities. And we're keen to safeguard our risk resilience through lease negotiations and during tenant applications for alterations. In terms of metrics, we use a suite of metrics. We're typically driven by real estate industry standards, and we've set annual and long-term targets. So with those building blocks in place, we've undertaken some portfolio modelling in respect of physical climate risk, and this has involved a number of tasks. Initially, a collection of granular data at asset level, so things like location, situation, sector type, characteristics of the primary component parts of the building, the situation of key plant and equipment. We've assessed those against different climate variables, so that be maybe mean precipitation predictions, extreme precipitation, mean and extreme temperature rises, and sea level rises. We've used an algorithm to calculate exposures, changes in exposures over time, to determine the likely consequences and magnitude of impact through various lenses. So these might be cash flow or business continuity, health and safety, legal and reputational risks. With all this information collected, we generate an initial risk assessment over different time slices, and it is against those outputs that we can consider implementing mitigating action with a view to controlling risk. We're currently exploring ways in which to translate this into meaningful value at risk metrics, and that's challenging given some of the time horizons and some of the fund and property level assumptions that we might need to make. Is that property X has an old roof and is in an area of expected higher wind speeds in the medium term. Therefore, we plan to upgrade the specification with an anticipated roof replacement where the current lease ends and make it more resilient to those anticipated climate change conditions. So in summary for us, the keys to alerting fund and asset managers to potential physical climate risks and providing an early warning for them to mitigate against and within the natural cycle of a commercial property investment activity.